It's a privilege for us to talk about it as well, all the games tomorrow. But that one will be the Lions' 84th game on Thanksgiving, the most of any team. But they have not won this Thanksgiving special since 2016. So you heard Coach Campbell. Everyone's watching. The buddy from second grade that you ran into on Wednesday night, now you're texting about the Lions on Thursday. What can the Lions showcase to a national audience against the Packers tomorrow, Jason, to really make it a holiday memory?
Well, Dan Campbell just said it. You're playing in that game, 12:30. People are preparing for Thanksgiving. The TV's on. Everybody in the country is watching. And not only that, the Lions are 8-2. And we talked about it yesterday, their first time since 1962. So, yes, we're used to them playing on Thanksgiving, but we're not used to seeing them playing on Thanksgiving with a record like this and with a team like this. Their fans have been through a lot. Kyle has talked about Uncle Lenny for a long time. Uncle Lenny's that uncle who could not get his act together, and now he's showing up to Thanksgiving, pretty date, clean clothes. He is ready to rock, and that is the Detroit Lions. Their fans are through the roof. They were wearing ski masks earlier in the season. They are going nuts at Ford Field. So when you talk about what they can do, prime time, everybody's watching. Lions, continue to go out there and have fun. I think that's been the fun thing as you watch their team. You're seeing Kirby Joseph doing backflips coming out of the end zone. You're watching Aiden Hutchinson dance all over the field. The reason they're doing that is because these Lions are making big play after big play, and they're having fun while they're doing it. And they're led by their head coach, Dan Campbell. He's in the locker room after games with a $5 bill, counting it up. That's what he personifies, and the team takes after their head coach. We watched that clip on primetime as a young lady partying with Jahmyr Gibbs. To me, that's all the Detroit Lions have to do. 8-2 right now. They've proven that they're one of the best teams in the NFL. Now they just have to keep it going, showcase it for everybody to see Thanksgiving morning. We're all watching. Detroit, just go out there and be Detroit.
There's primetime games and there's Thanksgiving Day games. Like the primetime games, everyone we think is watching, but people quietly doze off in the second quarter. Some people say, hey, it's on a cable channel, it's on a streaming network, I don't have that. Thanksgiving Day, there is one game in one window, and there are no other options on the television. So you are putting it on, and Grandma is watching, and Aunt Susie is watching, but also the rest of the league is watching. The secret here is that a lot of football players don't watch football when they're not playing in the games. I mean that. You'd probably be shocked by that. They get the film copy, but when they're off the clock, they're not necessarily staying up to midnight watching Panthers-Bears on Amazon. They are watching this game. This could be a message for the rest of the league. I think this is one of those where it's like trade magazine stuff, like people inside the industry. That's the NFL, and these players watch the Thanksgiving Day game. To me, it's a message to the rest of the league that we're for real. They've played primetime twice, and they beat the Chiefs, which was awesome the first night of the season. 21-20, close game. Then they went and played the Raiders. They had this game, and obviously McDaniels got fired afterwards, and Gibbs went nuts, but they haven't had that, like, whew, here we are, 45 points, and watch us do razzle-dazzle, and watch Jamison Williams, and watch Sam Laporta, and check out Gibbs. He's lined up at wide receiver, but he's coming around an end around, and we're going to fake it to him, but we're going to go to Montgomery. This could be that day, and not just for Grandma and Aunt Susie, but for the rest of the league. And I look at that Philadelphia Eagles logo as such a giant number one, and that 49ers logo, and those are the powers of the NFL right now, and the powers of the NFC. Lions can come in here and not just be a cute story. Lions here can make a statement, not just to people at home, but to the rest of the league on Thursday.
It's a great statement, and the rest of the league should be watching it. I'm still stuck on Aunt Kathy. Sit your big butt down and watch the Lions, Aunt Kathy, because you watch one football game a year, and it's always the Lions, and all you know about the NFL is the Lions are bad, and they're on Thanksgiving, and they always suck. They don't suck anymore, Aunt Kathy. They're awesome. They're not just good, they're great. Now, here's the thing about the Lions on Thanksgiving. It has been a lot of losing, but it's in streaks. Let me show you what we're doing over the last 20 years. It comes in streaks. They've lost 6 in a row, like Jamie said. Listen, before that, they won 4 in a row. Don't you forget about that. Those are prime Matthew Stafford years, 4 in a row, and before that, it was dark and it was ugly. We reached a point of critical mass a couple of years ago where people who mattered in the media were saying, no mas, enough. Take them off Thanksgiving. This is stupid. Why are we doing this? It's a terrible tradition. I'm just going to quote some of them. Bill Barnwell from ESPN, who I respect, he said, it's time. This is their 5th loss in a row. When you lose 5, you're out. He was out. No. Jimmy Traina from Sports Illustrated, champion of the show, writes this pearl-clutching piece about the Lions. It is time for the NFL to stop forcing us to spend our Thanksgiving with the Lions.
Do it anymore.
I won't. This is 2020. Texans at Lions? Talk about a giant shoulder shrug. First of all, it was a 41-25 game, Jimmy. Adrian Peterson went nuts for the Lions. And now we have the Texans and the Lions, who are two of the best teams and the best stories. Guys, Thanksgiving is about cringy traditions that you continue to do anyway, all right? The Thanksgiving Day parade, I don't really like it. I find it oddly depressing, and most of the musical acts are embarrassing. But I watch it, and I'd be sad if it was gone. I bet tomorrow you will have some sort of dish on your table that you hate, but it's there every single year. I bet you have a person at your table that you hate, but that person is there every single year because you would miss them. Not only should the Lions be there every year, now the food is good, the person is funny, the Thanksgiving Day parade is popping. We've waited for all these years. The Lions are great. Don't ever end this tradition. I don't care if they lose 50 in a row. I'm so happy for them. Happy Thanksgiving.
There we go.
It is a good litmus test for like a welcome to the NFL, and Kathy, Uncle Lenny, anybody who wants to watch for the first time. They sit down next to you and they're like, so why do I care about this game? And like, there were years where it was 45-0 in the wrong direction, and you say like, well, the thing is, the tradition is the Lions aren't great, but we watch them anyways, and but now they're good and we want to watch them, and that's why you should